Hi guys, it's Andy from Man City Fan TV. Well, this is the preview for the Leicester game on Monday night. What I'd like to say is a massive thank you to Philip from LCFC Boyer. He's a YouTuber for Leicester City, so go over and check him out. But what's happened is, as we always do on these sort of fan preview videos, is we send each other some questions. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go through some of the questions that Philip sent to me. So his first question to me was, if I can find it, here it goes. Does Liverpool playing Newcastle before we play on Monday night put more pressure on Manchester City? Yes and no, I guess, because let's face it, we shouldn't have been playing on Monday night, again, because of the television and changing our fixtures around yet again. I mean, I don't think we've had a 3 o'clock kickoff on a Saturday since sometime in January or February. I mean, it's madness. And you only have to look at all the games that's been swapped around recently. It's been absolutely crazy. But, well, I mean, what will happen is if Liverpool win tonight, which is Saturday, against Newcastle, then, yeah, it puts the pressure back onto City. If they were to lose or draw, then there's still a little bit of pressure because potentially we can win the Premier League title back-to-back on Monday night against you guys. So I don't read too much into it, I'll be honest with you, because it's been nip and tuck up for the last 3 months. We were 8 points behind, 7 points behind, and then we're back in front, and then Liverpool back in front, and it's literally gone. Every game has gone Liverpool top, we're top, Liverpool top, we're top. So I don't think there's anything in it, if I'm being really honest with you.
Right lads, Leicester fan here. I run my own YouTube channel, LCFC Boyer, where I go home and away with Leicester doing matchday vlogs and previews. I'm also part of 100% LCFC, so if you could check out all of that stuff, it would be massively appreciated. But I'm here to do a preview with you guys. Andy has sent me over some questions to answer, so let's get straight on into them.
So my questions were, number one, you're potentially 3 points outside a Europa League place. How's your season been overall?
So we're 3 points away from Europa League with 2 games left. We've got 2 incredibly difficult games in terms of obviously you guys away at the Etihad. And then we've got Chelsea at home, which I think we could get something from both games. Like, it's going to be very, very difficult, don't get me wrong. But for this season for us, it's been very hard because of what's happened off the pitch. Because obviously Vichai dying, our chairman, I think to even be in the top 10 with that is just incredible. Like, it could have derailed our season massively, and it didn't. We managed to carry on. The first game after that, we went to Cardiff away and managed to get a 1-0 win. And it's almost, in that game, it almost drew everyone together. So I think to be in the position we're in is only a testament to sort of how strong the club is. And then we also have the unfortunate unfortunately endure Claude Puel's football, which was just boring, sideways, backwards, and we were losing games that we shouldn't have been losing, such as Cardiff at home. We lost that, which, don't even get me started. We drew to Fulham, and I don't know, it's a very up and down season, but I'd say, considering the circumstances of what's happened to us this year, and that we've gone away and got points against some bigger teams, it's been a good season. But I think next season I really hope we can kick on and push for Europa League and even potentially getting in that top 6. At the moment, I would say that Europa League's still there, but I don't think we're realistically going to get it. And I'd love it, but I don't think we're quite ready for it yet. So I think it's been an all right season, but if you take into consideration everything that's happened, I would say it's been a very good season.
Okay, the next question is, which Leicester players do you think can cause Man City problems? I'm going to name, obviously, the main one, which is Jamie Vardy. We know what his pace is like, and he loves to get in behind on the counter-attack. His pace is still pretty good for somebody of his age. So I think it depends on who we play. I mean, we've got 2 options. We're looking at, Vincent Kompany is our leader, is our captain. He's been sort of one of the best sort of captains in Premier League history. Amazing player, but he's not that quick, and he does like to dive in on occasions. Or we bring back John Stones, who's not played as much lately, to try and counter with Aymeric Laporte the likes of Vardy's pace. So if I was going to pick one player, I would say Vardy certainly is someone we've got to be fearful of, because he's done it in the past against us a couple of years ago. So it'd be Jamie Vardy for me. My second question is, who's been your player of the season so far?
So who's been our player of the season so far? That's quite a difficult one. We've had quite a few good performances. So we've had Ben Chilwell, who's really stepped up. Like, we've seen the potential with him for a couple of seasons, but this year he's really stepped up. He's got his England call up and he's playing well. He's been linked to quite a few big clubs as well, including Man City. So hopefully we can hold on to him. But we've got Maddison, who came from Norwich, came from the Championship, and he's made the step up into the Premier League look easy. He's performing very well, and I would say he's definitely got to be in with a shout. I mean, you can't not sort of mention Jamie Vardy. He had a difficult time under Claude Puel, but under Brendan Rodgers is absolutely firing, and I believe he's on 19 Premier League goals this season, which again is absolutely outstanding. But then for me, our player of the season, I'm going to go with Ricardo Pereira. He came in from Porto at right back. We had Danny Simpson there before, who he could defend relatively well, but getting forward, you had absolutely nothing. But with Ricardo Pereira, he's very good at getting forward. I think he's got 8 assists, and I believe it's 3 goals. It might be 2 so far this season. For a right back, I'm very happy with that. And to be honest, he just seems to be growing in confidence more and more as the season goes on. So I'm hoping he can carry it on to next year, and I think but I would say he's been our player of the year.
Okay, the third question to me was, what areas do you feel are the weakest in Man City? And the areas that Leicester could potentially expose. We get asked this all the time. I mean, every video we've literally done with opposition fans, we've had the same comments all the time. Where can our team expose you? And I keep saying the same things, and I'm not going to change it. We have let goals in when little balls have been dinked over to the back post in our left back position. We know with Mendy being out, and Zinchenko and Fabian Delph have both occupied those positions over the last 2 years. Both of them have done great jobs, but neither of them are proper left backs, and both of them can get caught out. So that's an area that always concerns me. And the only other one that I say every time this question is asked is complacency. But the difference being now is, previously in the last, doing opposition fan channel videos in January or February, we've only got 2 games to go. So we know what is ahead of us. And we've literally got 2 Premier League games to go in the FA Cup final. So I'm going to rule out complacency. What I'm going to say is that left back position is still a potential problem for us, and maybe the centre backs, depending on who we play there. My third question are, young players, what are your thoughts on the FA's charges against Chowdhury, and how good is James Maddison?
So with Hamza Chowdhury, obviously he's been charged by the FA, and I'm a bit I think he was 15 at the time. He's made a mistake and stuff. I would say it's okay. I wouldn't argue too much with him getting charged, but I think the main thing now is for him to learn from it and sort of move on. So I don't know. He was 15 and a young boy at the time, so it's a bit of a difficult one. Like, you're a professional footballer, you're going to be in the limelight, sort of thing. So your past is going to be brought up against you, but I don't think that's for Hamza that we've got now. In between 15 and 21, which is what he is now, you develop and grow up quite a lot, and he appears to have done that. So as long as he can learn from it, I think that's the main thing. And then following on from that, how good is James Maddison? He's absolutely quality. And the thing that I mentioned it earlier in the question about the player of the year, the step up that he's made from the Championship when he was at Norwich to the Premier League, he's made it look easy, and I'm just excited to see him over the next couple of years, fingers crossed that he stays at Leicester, developing and becoming an even more crucial part of our team. I'd like to see him get an England call up. I think he's been unlucky not to get that so far, so I think he is a top quality player.
And your fourth question was, what starting 11 do you think Pep will go for on Monday night? Say it all the time on these videos. You can never, you rarely ever get a Pep starting 11 correct, because he always throws something different in, because he plays the team per who we're playing, and he's always got things, up his sleeve. But I'm thinking now, Kevin De Bruyne is definitely out. Fernandinho, he possibly will make the bench. We're not sure. We really don't know, because he gave his Pep press conference prior to training. So, yeah, I would turn around, and if I had to hazard a guess, I'll go for Ederson in net as normal, Walker right back, Zinchenko left back. Centre backs are going to be Laporte, but then who the second one is, it could be Stones, or I think he'll probably still stick with Vinny Company, if I'm being honest. Gundogan, it looks like our only holding midfielder, so Gundogan will play. Then I'm going to go for the two Silvas ahead of him, Bernardo Silva and David Silva. I think Leroy Sané will keep his place, even though he didn't have a great game against Burnley, on the left, and Raheem Sterling on the right, and then Sergio Aguero up front. So I think it'll be a pretty standard team that played against Burnley. My fourth question to you would be, who is your starting 11 for Monday night?
So for our starting 11 on Monday, it's an interesting one. I think it'll be quite similar to what we played against Arsenal, because, well, at least what we started with against Arsenal, because I think we were expecting Arsenal to bring the game to us, and they didn't really do that. They sat deep and sort of soaked up for pressure, which, well, I say soaked it up, they didn't. They conceded 3 goals and never looked like hurting us. But you guys, we know you're going to bring the game to us, and I think we've got to be prepared for that. But I think we're also going to have a go, so I wouldn't be expecting us to sit back completely and just trying to sort of have occasional moments. I really do feel Brendan Rodgers is going to go for it. So we're going to go with a 4-2-3-1. So in goal, and my captain would be Schmeichel. Obviously, Morgan's captain of the club, but I don't think he'll be playing against you guys. He didn't play against Arsenal, and he's sort of coming to the end of his career. Yes, he signed another 1-year deal, but I don't think this is the right kind of game for him to play. So in goal and captain, we've got Schmeichel. Left back, Ben Chilwell, and the centre-backs of Johnny Evans and Maguire. Johnny Evans is having a bit of an underrated season. We signed him for 3 million. He's doing a job for us. I couldn't be happier with him. Right back, Ricardo Pereira. As I said, I think he was our player of the season. And then the controversial man himself, Hamza Chowdhury, as one of the CDMs, alongside him with Ndidi. Then on the left-hand side of the midfield, it will be James Maddison. I think he quite often plays out on the left, but then sort of drifts in and plays almost as an inverted midfielder. Then down the centre, Yuri Tielemans, the man who's on fire. Hopefully we can keep him on a permanent. The right-hand side, this is where there's a few options. We've got Albrighton, who could potentially play, Gray, Barnes, but I am going to go with Barnes. He's starting to play very, very well. He came on against Arsenal at half-time, and in the first half we were good against Arsenal. Second half we looked a lot sort of more fluid and stuff, so I think he had a lot to do with that. So I'd like to see him have a go against Man City and sort of against some of the better players in the league. It'll be interesting to see how he gets on. And then up top, we've got the main man, Jamie Vardy, 19 goals so far this season. He's in the race for a golden boot. If he could potentially get one against you guys, and then maybe 1 or 2 against Chelsea, who knows? He could potentially get the golden boot. But that's my 1 to 11. It's a bit of a guess, because with Brendan Rodgers, we've only played Arsenal as our only top 6 team. So obviously there's a huge difference in between them and guys and you. So we'll see what he goes with, but that's my prediction.
And my final question is, who do you want to win the Premier League, Liverpool or Man City? And what's your score prediction for Monday night?
Then finally, who do I want to win the league? And to be honest, as a Leicester fan, I'm not particularly bothered if Liverpool win or Man City win. But I'm going to edge just to the side of Liverpool. Probably shouldn't be saying this on Man City Fan TV, but for me, Liverpool, I've got family who live up there and support Liverpool. I've met a lot of great Liverpool fans this year. And to be honest, I think it'll be so gutting for them to go so close again. Obviously, in their season under Brendan Rodgers with the Gerrard slip, they became so close. And this year, they've pushed you guys so close. To be finishing on 97 points and not get anything, I think that would be absolutely heartbreaking for them. So I'm going to edge towards Liverpool, but I really really aren't that bothered, to be honest. I'm more focused on Leicester and hoping that we finish the season off strongly.
And finally, the score prediction. I don't care. I'm not bothered. I'm really not asked if it's 1-0, 2-1, 3-2, 5-4. I don't care. We just want 3 points. So I'm gonna think it's gonna be a tight game. I think you've got nothing to lose. You've you've still got something a little bit to play for. Potentially Europa League place, depending on what happens with the other teams and everything else. But I'm gonna go 2-1. I'm going to go 2-1. Tight game, City to win it. But yeah, it's going to be... This is the game, and I've said through the last sort of 3-4 games, everyone sort of said, United's the one, and Spurs are the one, and Burnley's the one. This is the one that I think we've got to really be at it, because Leicester are a team that love to counter, and that's potentially one of our Achilles heels. So I'm going to go a tight 2-1 win. City get the 3 points. And then we'll see what happens. We'll see. We'll already know what will happen. We'll either have won the league on Monday night, which will be an amazing occasion, or we go to the last game of the season, which I think it's probably going to go to. I really can't see Liverpool dropping points at Newcastle, so I think it's going to go to the last game. But anyway, listen, what I want to say is a massive thank you to LCFC Boyer, and don't forget, go over and check his channel out on YouTube. We'll put the link in the description below this particular video. But anyway, this is Andy from Man City Fan TV. I'm confident we're going to win the league. But yeah, we'll see what happens on Monday night. And if you're around the stadium, don't forget, come over, have a chat with us outside the Blue Moon Cafe. But anyway, it's Andy from Man City Fan TV. Take care. Don't forget, subscribe, click notification, give it a thumbs up. And we'll see you outside the Etihad on Monday night.